Well, we've had some very interesting news come out in the media this morning regarding one of the Rubens. Reports of Rudiger certainly alerting Newcastle United, and a couple of other bits and bobs of news. This is the Toon Review.
Take me home to the banks of the riverside. Take me home to the place that I call mine. It's a place I love best. Yes, it's better than the rest. Take me home to the banks of the riverside.
Hi everybody, I'm Paul back again, and just a daily news video this morning. Some very interesting news came out regarding Jamie Reuben. It looks like Jamie Reuben is one of 20 interested parties that could be wanting to purchase Chelsea. Now we know that Roman Abramovich has put Chelsea up for sale for a staggering £3 billion. So it's going to take somebody of a monumental amount of money to purchase Chelsea Football Club, of course. And we know that the Reubens are very, very, very rich. And this is an opportunity maybe for Jamie to dip his toe into the football world and purchase Chelsea. Now, we know that they've had links to QPR, obviously Newcastle United now, but this would be a massive, massive purchase for Jamie Reuben if he was indeed going to buy Chelsea. There's a lot of very, very wealthy people reportedly interested in purchasing that football club, so it'd be very interesting to see how far Jamie Reuben is willing to push this. It could be pie in the sky. It is mentioned in a couple of renowned media outlets this morning that he may well be wanting to buy Chelsea. So it's certainly something to keep an eye on. We know that they're certainly not going to be short of bidders. There is a lot of people involved interested in buying Chelsea Football Club. So it's certainly one to watch in the next few days and weeks to come. Now, speaking of Chelsea, centre-back Antoine Rudiger. Now, of course, he is out of contract with Chelsea in the summer, but is yet to decide where he wants to go. He is free at the moment to speak to various clubs around Europe, but hasn't done so yet because obviously January passed and he's able to discuss signing on with a new team. Now, it's come about this morning that Newcastle United and Real Madrid are the two front runners to sign Rudiger. Now, this has come out of the blue for me because I didn't expect us to be going for Rudiger, knowing that Rudiger wants Champions League football, etc. Newcastle United obviously aren't going to be able to give him that next season, which gets me thinking. We are going to be linked with a lot of big players in the summer. That there is no doubt about. Rudiger, is he willing to take a year out of the Champions League to come to Newcastle and be part of the rebuild? Certainly that's what Trippier was interested in. That's what Bruno Gomes is interested in. So there's a lot of pull and power at Newcastle United at the moment with regards to showing these new players the big plans that we have for the future. But it's all about whether, these kind of players are willing to take a year out of the Champions League to concentrate on getting Newcastle into the top four, winning trophies next season. Because that's undoubtedly where the new owners are taking us here. Because, they've already stipulated where they want this club to be. There's no need to hang about. If we're still in the Premier League next season, that means that their plans are going to perfection. Because relegation was something that they didn't really want, but it was a possibility, so they would have to take a year out to get us back in the Premier League, etc., etc. That looks like it's not going to be needed anymore because of the way we're playing at the minute and the fact that we've got multiple points away from the relegation zone now. So it's going to be interesting to see what sort of pull and power we do have in the summer. Now, people may laugh at this and think, Rudiger's not going to come to Newcastle. Why not? It's not like we can't afford his wages. We can't, we can bring him in. This is the type of player that we are going to be looking for. There's no doubt about that. Now, it's all about whether we can attract these kind of players without European football for one season. Are they willing to come to Newcastle United knowing that they're going to be a season without European football? However, the world is the oyster after that. Given if we can attract world-class players like Rudiger to Newcastle United to build for the future. Now, that's where it's going to be for me. It's all going to be about negotiations and how we approach this and how we use Newcastle United's new pulling power to persuade these kind of players to come and sign for Newcastle. Because we are going to be battling the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSG, Man United, Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool. We are now in that bracket of being able to afford these top players. So it's going to be interesting to see. I would love Rudiger at the club, to be honest. I think he's a fantastic defender. So that would be, for me, another absolute marvellous signing. Now, another bit of news that we've got is Southampton have announced this morning that they could be without 3 key players for the game at St Mary's tomorrow night. It looks like they could be without Mohamed Salasu, Kyle Walker-Peters, and El Yanusi, or whatever his name is. But they look like they're going to be missing. Now, Kyle Walker-Peters has hit some big form lately, and for me, he's the one that will probably miss the most. So we have a big opportunity. Now, is this Ralph Hasenhüttl, just basically playing mind games like Eddie Howe does in his press conferences? I'll be very interested to see what Eddie Howe's got to say later on. I will be doing a press conference reaction video as well, so more to come on that. But like I say, if they're without these players, it gives us a big opportunity. Now, Southampton are a very, very good home side. I think they've only lost 1 game at home this season, so they are decent at St Mary's. But we're in a very, very rich vein of form at the moment. We have this new belief. Now, is Eddie Howe going to pay any attention to those 3 players possibly being out injured? I don't think so. And the other bit of news is, of course, Matt Ritchie is now back in training with Newcastle United. He's been injured for quite some time now, but the training photos came out yesterday, and of course, Matt Ritchie is in the training photos. Now, for me, he's not going to be anywhere near fit enough to be in the squad tomorrow. I just can't see that, but you never know. He may be on the bench. But for Matt Ritchie now, I think he's a bit further down the pecking order than he was. Since Matty Targett's come in, he's made that left-back position his own. It's very difficult to see him come playing on the left-hand side of an attacking formation. So I think Matt Ritchie is a bit further down the pecking order than he was, and I think he's got to admit now that certainly the substitutes bench is the only way that he can go. Which is a shame, but he's done his job, and I literally do believe that Matt Ritchie is one of these players that could be moving away in the summer. He could go back to Bournemouth. I think that would be a wonderful move for him, to be honest. But there you go. That is the news that's come out of Newcastle United and in the media this morning. Well, the biggest stories anyway. There's obviously every minute there's new stories coming out about Newcastle United and certain players that they're interested in. But the Rudiger one certainly caught my eye. So let me know in the comments what you think about that news this morning. And thank you very much for taking the time to watch the video, guys. If you have enjoyed it, please do hit that like button, and if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, please consider hitting that subscribe button. On the road to 10k now on the channel, which would be a fantastic achievement for everybody involved. You can become a member of the Toon Review as well if you just hit that join button underneath the video, or the link is down in the description below. And a massive shout out, of course, to the Toon Review sponsors, Geordie Riffs. Specialist guitar services based up here in the northeast, offering repairs, setups, lessons. They also have a recording studio as well. They're offering 10% off a first repair or setup, and your first guitar lesson completely free of charge if you mention the Toon Review. So give them a check out. They are listed below their website in the description, and you can also find them on Facebook and Instagram as well. But thank you very much for taking the time to watch the video today, guys. Take care.